Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Nickelodeon and I'm back with another video. I'm going to do a recap of Married at First Sight. I believe this is episode 4 and I'm going to do a little bit of episode 5. So, I do apologize that I have been off screen and not doing videos consistently like I should. And I have been kind of busy, kind of just going through some things, going through life. So hopefully I can get back on track with my YouTube videos and my recaps and things like that. So, Married at First Sight, episode 3, I believe. So episode 3, the couples are on their honeymoon. We have Sheila and we have Nate. And Sheila and Nate are in the St. Croix, I believe it was. And then we have Ashley and Anthony. They are in where was it? I forgot. But they're on some island on their honeymoon. And then we have Ashley and Anthony, and they're on the Bahamas, at the Bahamas. Now, Ashley and Anthony have become my favorite couple so far. Only because I just love the way they're getting along. It seems like they are trying to work on their marriage. They're trying to work on things, and and I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for all the couples, but Ashley and Anthony are really making things easy. Okay, let's get into what happened. Sheila and Nate, they're out playing ping pong, and the ping pong game gets kind of competitive. Sheila's kicking Nate's butt, and Nate's coming up with excuses as to why he's losing, and Sheila's like, you're just getting your butt kicked. It's you just making excuses. And then she even switches sides on the ping pong table so she can say, because one of his excuses was that the wind was blowing or something. And she said, all right, well, let's switch places on the table, so he couldn't use that as an excuse anymore. And I just thought it was funny how he was being so competitive with his wife. You know what I mean? Like, this is supposed to be a honeymoon romantic setting. Like, let her win, dog. Like, why is it that serious? You know what I mean? Like, I think you should be concentrating more on just getting to know her and trying to get her to like you and romance you, rather than you know um being so competitive. I don't know. I don't think that she was gonna break up with him or whatever if he lost the ping pong game. Um, so something happened. They ended up getting into an argument after the ping pong game, and it was mainly about the being so competitive and things like that. It seemed like they were really bumping heads. Excuse me. Seemed like they were bumping heads. And Nate was just, the things that he was saying, Sheila just wasn't feeling it. Like, he said something about he tries to be the best that he can be and pretty much everything that he tries. And Sheila was like, but it's just a ping pong game, dude. Like, it's not that serious. Like, I get what Nate was saying about whatever he tries to do, he tries to be the best at, and I totally agree with that. But I don't think that he needed to be so extreme. And then I kind of felt like Sheila was also kind of the same way, being kind of competitive. She was talking a lot of like smack or whatever, but I think that they might, in their case, they might be too much alike. Um, Sheila ended up calling Pastor Calvin. Calvin, he's one of the experts, and she was crying on the phone with him about something that Nate said. Nate actually told her that he didn't want to be married anymore, and Pastor Calvin said that that was boneheadedness, and I agree with him. You know, like if you married, that's like the last thing you want to be saying to your partner is that you don't want to be married anymore. Like I didn't think that he should say that. I get why he said it because he probably was upset, but all in the same time, he shouldn't have said it, and it sent Sheila on a whirlwind of hurt and frustration and all of that, and I can understand. She probably is confused and don't know where to go from here. Pastor Calvin talked to her and kind of pretty much convinced her to give him a chance. You know, he pretty much was saying like, look, he was angry. He probably didn't mean it. Give him a chance. You know, you guys signed up for a long lifelong commitment of marriage, and you can't just run off at the very first thing that makes you upset. Pretty much that's what he was saying in a nutshell. um okay, so we can talk about Ashley and Anthony, and Ashley and Anthony, I told you, was my favorite couple, only because they are so cute together and they're getting along so well. They haven't even argued. They haven't even argued yet, and they've been taking turns on the activities on the vacation. As far as like Anthony, like he wants to do the boating activities, he wants to do the canoeing and things like that. He wants to be active, and Ashley is accepting of that. She's going along with the activities that Anthony wants to do, and then after they're done with Anthony's activities, then they'll chill by the poolside or relax in the hammock. You know, like what Ashley wants to do. So I think that is a learning, a stepping stool to them getting to learn how to communicate together and how to work together, because definitely an important part in marriage is that you want to be able to work together. They did have sex, and Ashley had a smile on her face from ear to ear, and so did Anthony. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. They were getting along great. Um. Okay. I feel like Anthony is a little tad bit smarter than Ashley is. Well, I don't know. He might not be smarter, but he is a smart guy. Put it that way, and he knows how to get to the point without offending her. He knows how to ask the question without offending her. And he asked her a question about um he asked her a question about how she felt about relaying information about their relationship to family members. And I think that he was just trying to bring up the point, or just trying to like get it in her head that he definitely did not want Ashley run into her family, as far as any problems that they have in between them two. Um, and then she asked if he ever been in love before. And see, I'm starting to feel like this show is a little bit scripted. And I just heard like 10 million people say, yeah, think. But I swear it feels like it's scripted because um, everybody asked, all the girls asked their husbands, have they been in love before? And it's so crazy. Like, how are you all asking the same question? So I don't recall Sheila asking Nate has he ever been in love before, but I think she did. I might have missed that part. But Ashley definitely did ask Anthony has he ever been in love before, and Danielle definitely asked Cody has he been in love before. Okay, and Anthony said yes, he has been in love before. Um, and they communicate great. Um, they are cooperating, working together great. Everything is going good with Anthony and Ashley. Um, okay. And we're going to move on to the last couple, Cody and Danielle. Cody and Danielle are I'm not sure where they took their honeymoon. I do apologize. But they are on an island. Um and they're being too cautious. And I'm quoting the words from one of the experts when they said that Cody and Danielle are being too cautious. But I agree. They're moving like they dating, And you gotta remember, this is not dating at first sight. This is married at first sight. Like, you know, stop being so careful. This is your wife. This is your wife. You know what I mean? Danielle says that she doesn't want to do anything without Cody making the first move, and Cody says he doesn't want to do anything without Danielle making the first move. So, with that being said, nobody will make the move. Um, they did an activity together. They went zip lining. I don't know if any of you ever went zip lining. I haven't, and I don't think I'm ever going to, but I might though. But I might have a heart attack in the middle of the line. But it looked fun. It looked fun, and watching them do it made me want to like one day try. But Danielle is fearless. She jumped up there and she zip line straight across, and she's like, "Woo!" Like she likes that adrenaline. She likes that adventure. Cody, he's like, I'm afraid of heights. This and this. Like he just was afraid. He was afraid, and he said that Danielle gives him courage. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign that he likes her a lot, because he's willing to try new things and learn new things because of his new wife and his life. So he went and he did the zip line. He survived it. They were high fiving and everything. But Danielle kept on making these comments, not to him directly, but to when they do that little private documentary, that she wanted Cody to be more manly. You know what I mean? And I don't understand what she means by manly. When I look at Cody, I definitely see a man. So I don't know what she meant by manly. He is human. Just because you're not fearless or you're not Superman, or there's one thing out there that scares you, to me, does not make you less of a man. I think Danielle needs to chill out with those type of comments. Um. Okay. So they had a situation where they went jet skiing, and Cody and Danielle were jet skiing, and they were out in the water, and the jet ski flipped over, and Danielle and Cody was boom. Well, I don't think Danielle fell in there, but Cody definitely was like, and just kind of fell in the water, and then Danielle comes out the water and she gets back on the jet ski and she takes over, and then Kobe jumps back. Cody jumps on the jet ski behind Danielle, and he like wraps his arms around Danielle and is riding back like Danielle saved the day, and he's like holding on, and I'm like shaking my head like, oh man, now you really look like a punk now, because Danielle that took the lead, and that's the main thing that she kept saying about Cody, is that she wanted him to take the lead. She wanted him to be the man. So in that situation, she really just kind of like made him look like a punk. But I don't know. It just looked funny. with him riding on the back of the jet ski holding on to her. I don't necessarily think that situation, made him look any less like a man, but it just looked funny to me, pretty much. And oh, and I forgot to mention that Ashley wants to have kids. And off camera, yeah, it was off camera. It was Anthony's private documentary, and he says Ashley wants to have kids within a month of us knowing each other, and he's like, chill out, like chill out, you know, like kind of like saying like she's rushing things. And in my opinion, I think she is rushing things. Give her some time. He already told Ashley that he wants to have kids. But if you keep pushing and pushing the issue, you could possibly push Anthony out of your life because you're being too pushy. And that was it for episode number 3. I think that was 3. And then there was another episode that I missed just this past Thursday, and I did get a chance to watch it. And they pretty much was on their last day, the honeymoon. Um, Sheila and Nate, they pray together, and that to me it is more stronger than anything that you could ever hope for, or anything that you could ever try to use to keep your relationship strong. And if you know the saying, a family that prays together stays together. And when I seen that, I knew that they was gonna be all right, because they both have the same strong religious beliefs, and they can sit down and they can work things out, and they can come together in prayer. And they started getting along very well. Um, and they were on their way back to the city, to their home. I believe they all are in Chicago. I believe they're all in Chicago. Um, okay. So once they got back to Chicago, they went to go see each other's apartments. Um, Nate and Sheila, and they all had little tiny apartments. All of the couples pretty much decided on the option of getting a new fresh start and getting a whole new place together. All the couples pretty much decided that. Even though they some of them had some decent little spots, but when you get married, you gotta make room for the other person and possibly a child, whatever the case may be. So I think they made a smart choice as far as like, let's start over. um Nate and Sheila. Nate's situation is unique because he has his brother Tyreek, that rhymed, living with them. And Tyreek looks like he's probably about like 18 or 19. I believe he's still in college, and Nate is helping him get through college and pretty much supporting him, giving him a place to live and things like that. He did drop that big bomb on Sheila when they was on the honeymoon, letting her know that he wanted to take care of his little brother, and his little brother was going to be living with them. And Sheila took that pretty smoothly, and she was like, okay, that's fine. And here they are together, all sitting on the couch together, talking. She's like, "Oh, Tyree, good to see you again." And they're laughing and they're joking and they're getting along. So that's good, and I hope things can stay smooth throughout the 8 weeks. Um, so they're gonna get another place together, all of them. Nate, Sheila, and Tyreek, they're gonna get a place, so they're going house hunting. Anthony and Ashley, they also going house hunting. Um, and Cody and Danielle. Cody and Danielle. Well, Danielle went to go see Cody's house. Cody's staying with his parents. Cody lives in like a farmland, or like what is it? The countryside, like the countryside. They have a farm, I believe, and chickens, and um, some other animals. But they have a beautiful, beautiful farmland and a beautiful, huge home. That's his parents. And Cody cleared up some allegations, something that he had told her during the honeymoon that he thought had hurt her feelings or whatever. And he told her during the honeymoon that he would rather just be friends for a bit and then see if it evolves into this relationship. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? You signed up for Married at First Sight. She's not your friend, she's your wife. And I'm pretty sure Danielle was thinking the same thing. And she even made a comment to her private documentary that she said, well, we're not going to last very long if that's how he really feels. So when he went to go see her, when she went to go visit Cody at his parents' house, Cody cleared that up, and he said he apologized, and he said, I'm sorry for saying I wanted to just be friends. I know what I signed up for. I know you're my wife, and I want to love you as my wife, and I want to be a good husband to you. And I think that was the best thing that he could do, was to clear that up. I think Danielle was being totally patient and understanding, because she could have like zapped out and was like, what do you mean? No, what do you mean you just want to be friends or whatever? But she didn't. She chilled out, and he eventually cleared it up. What he meant by that. Um. So everybody found a place. They all met with real estate agents, and everybody found a place that they love. Nate has expensive taste. And that's my boy though. That's my boy though. Nate. He likes to have fun. And they went to go look at this place that was a little bit over budget, but you can see in the look in his eyes and how he was looking around at the place and like nodding his head like, yeah, this like this, you can tell that he really wanted it. But Jill's like looking at him like, and she said something to him like, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. And I'm like, chill, Sheila. Like, he can dream. You know what I mean? I like Nate. And she was a little uptight, in my opinion. But they ended up uh, getting something that was in their budget. So everybody's good. Everybody's packing at their old apartments and moving into their new home. And I'm starting to think, like, does the Married at First Sight cast and crew, or the network or whatever, do they give them extra money? Do they and add money on to the money they already got to get these places? Because everybody seem to be good. They move right in. Their credit's good. Their money's good. The money stashed away. But I mean, I guess like if they call you and say, yeah, we got somebody that you're about to marry and you're gonna be on a reality show, I guess you do have time to like stash away some money for your home and for your new life. So maybe that's what some of them did, or either they got money from filming the show, which I'm sure they do, because I know a lot of these reality shows, they get money for it. Like Real Housewives of Atlanta, like that's their job. Like they get paid. So I'm guessing that they probably got like money from the show, money from the network to help with their homes, because the homes are nice. The homes are like $200,000, $300,000 homes. Like the homes are nice. Average. Excuse me, it's not really average. Cause not everybody got no big home, but you know, and didn't nobody have any issues as far as finding a home and you know stuff like that. Nobody had any issues with that. So, I believe next week's episode is going to be the live. How they living, how you live. You know what I mean? Who's the cook? Who's the dirty one? Who's the one that you want to throw out the front door? But I don't know. I think we're about to get down to the nitty gritty next week, starting next week, because we about to find out what really goes down. What are they? The old saying they say, you don't really know somebody till you done moved in with them. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We're about to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Deuces.